May I request the attention of all the guests here, all the participants. Kindly be occupied in your seats, please. Honorable CM ఇంకొక 3 నిమిషాల్లో ఇక్కడికి వస్తారు. గౌరవనీయులైన మంత్రివర్యులు, సలహాదారులు, చైర్పర్సన్స్ ముందు వరుసలో కూర్చోవలసిగా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాం. చాలామంది నిలబడి ఉన్నారండి. నిలబడే వాళ్ళు దయచేసి వెనక్కి వెళ్ళండి. వేదికకి ఎడంవైపు కుడివైపు నిలబడి ఉన్నవాళ్ళు మీ విద్యుక్త ధర్మ నిర్వహణలో మీ డ్యూటీలో ఉంటే తప్ప మీరు ఇక్కడ నిలబడి ఉండకూడదని రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు సీనియర్ పోలీస్ ఆఫీసర్స్. ప్లీజ్ ట్రై టు హెల్ప్. సమర శంఖమును ఊది సమ్మక్క సారక్క తెలంగాణ యోధుల బలము చూపి, సమర శంఖమునూది సమ్మక్క సారక్క తెలంగాణ యోధుల బలము చూపి, రామప్ప గుడిలోని ఇప్పుడు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా అన్ని జిల్లాలలో ఆవిష్కరించుకోబోతున్న తెలంగాణ తల్లి అవతరణ దినోత్సవ సందర్భంగా మనం రాష్ట్ర సచివాలయం ముందు, డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ సచివాలయం ముందు ఆవిష్కరించుకున్నాం. గౌరవనీయులైన డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, గౌరవనీయులైన మంత్రులందరినీ వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా సవినయంగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాను. ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఆనరబుల్ డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, ఆనరబుల్ మినిస్టర్స్, ఆనరబుల్ అడ్వైజర్స్ దయచేసి వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను. కోమటిరెడ్డి వెంకటరెడ్డి గారు సార్, ఆనరబుల్ డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, ఆనరబుల్ మినిస్టర్స్, ఆనరబుల్ అడ్వైజర్స్ వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఆనరబుల్ డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారిని వేదికపైకి ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం. ఆనరబుల్ మినిస్టర్స్, రోడ్లు భవనాల శాఖ మంత్రులు కోమటిరెడ్డి వెంకటరెడ్డి గారి విభాగం నిర్వహిస్తున్న కార్యక్రమం ఇది. తెలంగాణ తల్లి రూపుదాల్చటంలో, ఈ విగ్రహ రూపకల్పనలో ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారి సూచనలు, ఉప ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారి సూచనలు, మంత్రివర్గం, ప్రజాపాలన ప్రభుత్వం వారి సూచనల్ని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని తెలంగాణ తల్లి రూపురేఖల్ని రూపకల్పన చేసిన వారిలో రోడ్లు భవనాల శాఖ చేసిన ఒక తపస్సు లాంటి ప్రయత్నం మనకు తెలుసు. For the kind information of dignitaries from outside Telugu speaking area, Telangana Thalli is a symbolic goddess for Telangana state, which is just by seeing you can have the inner meaning of that statue. Motherhood, తల్లిదనం మనకు మానవ జాతి రూపకల్పనకి అత్యంత ప్రధానమైంది. యాదేవి సర్వభూతేషు మాతృరూపేణ సంస్థిత, నమస్సస్యై 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 నమో నమః. ప్రకృతిలోని ప్రతి అణువులో కూడా మాతృ స్ఫూర్తిని, మాతృమూర్తిని దర్శించమంటోంది మన భారతీయ సంస్కృతి. అలాగే యాదేవి సర్వభూతేషు జ్ఞానరూపేణ సంస్థిత, జ్ఞానము, ధ్యానము, తపస్సు, ప్రేమ, see, as per the instruction of senior officers here, I request ministers సీఎం ఛాంబర్లో ఉన్నారు, డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, మంత్రివర్యులంతా. For the kind information of panel speakers, dignitaries from different places, I would like to re-announce the details given by Gautam Garu. Hall 1 lo Experience Telangana Heritage, Culture and Future Ready Tourism. Honorable Minister Jupalli Krishna Rao Garu chair chestaru. Alage Telangana's Olympic Gold Quest in Hall 2. Genome Valley and Beyond, Accelerating Innovation in Life Sciences, Hall 3, towards 3 trillion economy, leveraging capital and productivity in Hall 4. After the break for 10 to 15 minutes, we will have second session. In Hall 1, Investing in Inclusion, Prospects in Affordable Housing Sector. Hall 2, Musi Rejuvenation and Blue-Green Infrastructure in Hyderabad. Hall 3, Connected Telangana, Integrated Transport and Urban-Rural Connectivity. And Hall 1 again, after lunch, Bharat FutureCity as a magnet for 3 trillion Telangana. Hall 2, Building Telangana's Entrepreneurship Ecosystem, Ease of Doing Business. Hall 3, Global Capability Centers in Telangana, from Scale to Impact. Hall 4, Innovative PPPs, Harnessing Private Capital Towards Public Goods. And last session is from 4 p.m. onwards, The Creative Century, India Soft Power and the Future of Entertainment. You know, many illustrious personalities from Telugu film field, Tollywood, and we have heroes from Bollywood also taking part in this. Hall 2, Inclusive Prosperity, Expanding Opportunity for Everyone. Hall 3, Capital and Growth, Investment Pathways, Financial Hub, Strategy and High Impact Sectors. Hall 4 is Startups for 3 million Economy, Telangana 2047. దీంతో పాటు సాయంకాలం 6 గంటలకి ఈవినింగ్ 6 o'clock we have Telangana Rising 2047 vision document will be launched at 6 p.m. expecting all of you to be there. And 7 we have beautiful drone show, and 7:30 onwards we have dinner and cultural show. Thank you. నా తెలంగాణ కోటి రతనాల వీణ అని దాశరథి ఆ రోజంటే ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం రేవంత్ రెడ్డి గారు ఈరోజు అంటున్నారు నా తెలంగాణ కోటి అవకాశాల ఖజానా అంటూ. ఈ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ని సద్వినియోగం చేసుకోవటానికి ఆల్ ఓవర్ ద వరల్డ్ షుడ్ లుక్ టువార్డ్స్ తెలంగాణ. దట్ ఈస్ ది డ్రీమ్ బై ప్రజాపాలనా ప్రభుత్వం. ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం గారు, ఆనరబుల్ డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, ఆనరబుల్ మినిస్టర్స్, ఆనరబుల్ అడ్వైజర్స్, ఆనరబుల్ సిఎస్ గారు, డీజీపీ గారు, ఇంకా అందరూ వేదికపైకి వేయించేసి ఉన్నారు. మనందరికీ తెలుసు, తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర సచివాలయంలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి విగ్రహాన్ని ప్రతిష్టాపన చేసి అదే తరహాలో అన్ని కలెక్టరేట్ ఆవరణల్లో అన్ని జిల్లాల్లో ఆ తల్లిని మనం దర్శించుకోవాలన్న సంకల్పం ప్రజాపాలనా ప్రభుత్వానిది. అందుకే ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం గారు, డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, మంత్రివర్గం ఈరోజు పుష్పాంజలి ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం గారు, తెలంగాణ తల్లి రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా ఆవిష్కరణ చేయబడింది. గౌరవనీయులైన ముఖ్యమంత్రి, ఉప ముఖ్యమంత్రి, మంత్రివర్యులు ఇప్పుడు పుష్పాంజలి ఘటిస్తారు. ఇక్కడ ఇదే సందర్భంలో రాష్ట్రంలోని అన్ని చోట్ల కూడా తల్లికి నమస్కరించుకుంటూ అందరూ తెలంగాణ తల్లిని హృదయ పీఠికలపై ఆవిష్కరించుకున్నాం. ఇక్కడ భాగ్యనగరంలో ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు ఇలా రిమోట్ స్విచ్ నొక్కిన తరుణంలోనే రాష్ట్రంలో అన్ని జిల్లాల్లో ఆవిష్కరించుకోబడ్డ తెలంగాణ తల్లికి నమస్కరించుకుంటూ ఇప్పుడు అందరం గొంతెత్తి పాడదాం, జయ జయ హే తెలంగాణ. తెలంగాణ స్టేట్ సాంగ్, రాష్ట్ర గీతం జయ జయ హే తెలంగాణ.
జయ కేతనం ముకోటి గొంతుకలు ఒక్కటైన చేతనం తరతరాల చరిత గల తల్లి నీరాజనం పద పదాన నీ పిల్లలు ప్రణమిల్లిన శుభతరుణం. జయ తెలంగాణ, జయ జయ తెలంగాణ, జయ తెలంగాణ, జయ జయ తెలంగాణ. జీవన చావళీలు చాలువాన కవి గాయక వైతాళిక కళల మంచీరాలు జాతిని జాగృత పరచే గీతాల జనజాతర అనునిత్యం నీ గానం అమ్మ నీవే మా ప్రాణం. జయ తెలంగాణ, జయ జయ తెలంగాణ, జయ తెలంగాణ, జయ జయ తెలంగాణ.
తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా జయధ్వానాలు ప్రతిరోజు ప్రతిపూట జయధ్వానాలు అందరికీ స్ఫూర్తిని అందించాలని, తెలంగాణ కీర్తిని ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తం చేయాలని ప్రజాపాలన ప్రభుత్వం తలపెట్టిన గ్లోబల్ సమ్మిట్ ఇంత అద్భుతంగా, అర్థవంతంగా, ఆర్థికంగా, హార్దికంగా ముందుకు సాగుతున్న వేదికపైన గౌరవనీయులు ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారి సందేశం. ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం's మెసేజ్.
తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో వివిధ జిల్లాల కలెక్టర్ కార్యాలయాలలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి విగ్రహ ఆవిష్కరణ కార్యక్రమాన్ని భారత్ ఫ్యూచర్ సిటీ, తెలంగాణ రైజింగ్ గ్లోబల్ సమ్మిట్ వేదికగా ఉప ముఖ్యమంత్రి వర్యులు బట్టి విక్రమార్క గారు, సహచర మంత్రివర్గ సభ్యులు, పార్లమెంట్ సభ్యులు, శాసనమండలి సభ్యులు, శాసనసభ్యులు, తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో పెట్టుబడులు పెట్టిన పారిశ్రామికవేత్తల సమక్షంలో కేంద్ర రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వ అధికారుల సమక్షంలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి విగ్రహ ఆవిష్కరణ ఈ కార్యక్రమం జరుపుకోవడం ఎంతో సంతోషం, ఒక శుభ పరిణామం. ఇక్కడున్న మిత్రులకు, దేశ ప్రజలందరికీ తెలుసు, డిసెంబర్ 9, 2009 నాడు యూపీఏ చైర్పర్సన్ శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారి నేతృత్వంలో ఆనాటి భారత ప్రధానమంత్రి డాక్టర్ మన్మోహన్ సింగ్ గారు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ఏర్పాటు ప్రక్రియను ప్రారంభించిందని ఆనాటి హోంశాఖ మహాత్యులు చిదంబరం గారు ప్రకటించిన ఒక మంచి రోజు. చిదంబరం గారు డిసెంబర్ 9, 2009 నాడు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ఏర్పాటు ప్రక్రియను ప్రారంభిస్తున్నామని ప్రకటించడంతో 6 దశాబ్దాల తెలంగాణ ప్రజల యొక్క 4 కోట్ల ప్రజల యొక్క ఆకాంక్షను ప్రతిబింబిస్తూ యూపీఏ ప్రభుత్వం తీసుకున్న నిర్ణయం ఈ ప్రాంత ప్రజలకు సంతోషాన్ని, ఆత్మగౌరవాన్ని అందించినాయి. అందుకే తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం ఏర్పడిన తర్వాత మొట్టమొదటిసారి ఏర్పడిన ప్రజాపాలన ఇందిరమ్మ రాజ్యంలో డిసెంబర్ 9కు ఉన్న ప్రాధాన్యతను గుర్తించి 60 సంవత్సరాల ప్రజల యొక్క బలమైన ఆకాంక్షను నెరవేర్చిన పర్వదినాన్ని తెలంగాణ తల్లి అవతరణ దినోత్సవంగా జరుపుకోవాలని తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం అధికారిక నిర్ణయం తీసుకొని ప్రతి సంవత్సరం డిసెంబర్ 9 నాడు తెలంగాణ తల్లి ఆవిష్కరణ ఉత్సవాలను జరుపుకుంటున్నాం. అందులో భాగంగానే ఈనాడు పోయిన సంవత్సరం రాష్ట్ర పరిపాలనకు కేంద్రమైన సచివాలయంలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి విగ్రహ ఆవిష్కరణ చేసుకొని ఒక స్ఫూర్తిని పరిపాలనలో తీసుకొచ్చినాం. ఈనాడు తెలంగాణలో ఉన్న అన్ని జిల్లా కేంద్ర కార్యాలయాలలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి విగ్రహ ఆవిష్కరణను, ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని జరుపుకోవడం ద్వారా ప్రజల యొక్క ఆలోచనను, దళితులు, గిరిజనులు, ఆదివాసీలు, మైనారిటీల యొక్క ఆకాంక్షల్ని నెరవేర్చడానికి ప్రతినిత్యం స్ఫూర్తి పొందాలని తమ దినచర్య ప్రారంభమైనప్పుడు తెలంగాణ తల్లి యొక్క ఆశీర్వాదం, స్ఫూర్తిని తీసుకొని సంక్షేమాన్ని, అభివృద్ధిని ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లే విధంగా ఒక బలమైన సంకల్పాన్ని అందించాలి అని ఈనాడు మా ప్రభుత్వం నిర్ణయం తీసుకొని ఈ విగ్రహావిష్కరణ కార్యక్రమాన్ని మనం ప్రారంభించుకున్నాం. అదేవిధంగా మీకు అందరికీ తెలుసు, తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం యొక్క ఆకాంక్ష 2004 ఎన్నికల సందర్భంగా శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారు కరీంనగర్ గడ్డ మీద నుంచి ఈ ప్రజలకు ఒక మాట ఇచ్చారు. మీ ఆలోచన ఆకాంక్ష నాకు తెలుసు, తప్పకుండా నెరవేరుతుంది అని. ఇచ్చిన మాట ప్రకారం ఎన్ని ఒడిదుడుకులు వచ్చినా, ఎన్ని అవాంతరాలు వచ్చినా అధిగమించి శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ఆవిష్కరణకు సంపూర్ణంగా సహకరించారు. ఈనాడు స్వరాష్ట్ర కళ నిజమై ఈరోజు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో నిటారుగా నిలబడి సంక్షేమము అభివృద్ధిని దేశంలోనే నెంబర్ 1గా తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం తీర్చిదిద్దుకుంటున్నది. అలాంటి గొప్ప నాయకురాలు ఇచ్చిన మాటకు కట్టుబడి ప్రజల ఆకాంక్ష నెరవేర్చిన గొప్ప నాయకురాలు శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారి జన్మదినం కూడా డిసెంబర్ 9 కావడం మా అందరికీ సంపూర్ణమైన సంతోషాన్ని కలిగించే ఈ పర్వదినం ప్రతి సంవత్సరం తెలంగాణ తల్లి అవతరణ దినోత్సవాలతో పాటు శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారి జన్మదిన ఉత్సవాలను కూడా 4 కోట్ల తెలంగాణ ప్రజలు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం ఉన్నంతకాలం జరుపుకుంటాం. ఎప్పటికీ మా గుండెల్లో, మా రాష్ట్ర పరిపాలన విధానంలో, మా సంక్షేమ అభివృద్ధి కార్యక్రమాలలో శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారి స్ఫూర్తి, డాక్టర్ మన్మోహన్ సింగ్ గారి యొక్క విజన్ ప్రస్ఫుటంగా అమలు జరుగుతుంది. ఈ సమ్మిట్ కార్యక్రమంలో పాల్గొన్న వివిధ దేశాల నుంచి వచ్చిన ప్రతినిధులకు, ఈ దేశంలో ఉన్న పారిశ్రామికవేత్తలకు, ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని విజయవంతం చేసిన అధికారులకు అందరికీ మరొక్కసారి తెలంగాణ తల్లి అవతరణ దినోత్సవ శుభాకాంక్షలు తెలియజేస్తూ మీ అందరి దగ్గర సెలవు తీసుకుంటున్నాను. ధన్యవాదాలు.
Honorable CM has greeted all the dignitaries from all over the world. On behalf of Honorable CM, Honorable Deputy CM and Honorable Ministers, Honorable Advisors, Government of Telangana is thankful to all the guests here. కోటి తెలుగుల బంగారు కొండ కింద పరసు కొండట్టి సరసు లోపల వసించి పొద్దు పొద్దున అందాల పూలు పూయి నా తెలంగాణ తల్లి కంజాతవల్లి అన్న దాశరథిని గుర్తు చేసుకుంటూ ఇప్పుడు ఇదే హాల్లో సెషన్ ఆరంభమవుతుంది. జీనోమ్ వ్యాలీకి వచ్చిన సెషన్. హాల్ నెంబర్ 1 జీనోమ్ వ్యాలీ, హాల్ నెంబర్ 2 స్పోర్ట్స్, హాల్ నెంబర్ 3 టూరిజం, హాల్ నెంబర్ 4 $3 trillion economy. I would like to repeat, concerned panel speakers, dignitaries from different parts are requested to be available at respective halls. Hall number 1 Genome Valley, hall number 2 Sports, hall number 3 Tourism, hall number 4 $3 trillion economy. These are the subjects. Thanks to one and all. May I request the attention of all the guests here, all the participants, kindly be occupied in your seats, please. Honorable CM ఇంకొక 3 నిమిషాల్లో ఇక్కడికి వస్తారు. గౌరవనీయులైన మంత్రివర్యులు, సలహాదారులు, చైర్పర్సన్స్ ముందు వరుసలో కూర్చోవలసిగా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాం. చాలామంది నిలబడి ఉన్నారండి. నిలబడేవాళ్ళు దయచేసి వెనక్కి వెళ్ళండి. వేదికకి ఎడంవైపు కుడివైపు నిలబడి ఉన్నవాళ్ళు మీ విద్యుక్త ధర్మ నిర్వహణలో మీ డ్యూటీలో ఉంటే తప్ప మీరు ఇక్కడ నిలబడి ఉండకూడదని రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు సీనియర్ పోలీస్ ఆఫీసర్స్. ప్లీజ్ ట్రై టు హెల్ప్. సమర శంఖమునూది సమ్మక్క సారక్క తెలంగాణ యోధుల బలము చూపి, సమర శంఖమునూది సమ్మక్క సారక్క తెలంగాణ యోధుల బలము చూపి, రామప్ప గుడిలోని ఇప్పుడు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా అన్ని జిల్లాలలో ఆవిష్కరించుకోబోతున్న తెలంగాణ తల్లి అవతరణ దినోత్సవ సందర్భంగా మనం రాష్ట్ర సచివాలయం ముందు, డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ సచివాలయం ముందు ఆవిష్కరించుకున్నాం. గౌరవనీయులైన డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, గౌరవనీయులైన మంత్రులందరినీ వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా సవినయంగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాను. ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఆనరబుల్ డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, ఆనరబుల్ మినిస్టర్స్, ఆనరబుల్ అడ్వైజర్స్ దయచేసి వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను. కోమటిరెడ్డి వెంకటరెడ్డి గారు సార్, ఆనరబుల్ డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, ఆనరబుల్ మినిస్టర్స్, ఆనరబుల్ అడ్వైజర్స్ వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఆనరబుల్ డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారిని వేదికపైకి ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం. ఆనరబుల్ మినిస్టర్స్, రోడ్లు భవనాల శాఖ మంత్రులు కోమటిరెడ్డి వెంకటరెడ్డి గారి విభాగం నిర్వహిస్తున్న కార్యక్రమం ఇది. తెలంగాణ తల్లి రూపుదాల్చటంలో, ఈ విగ్రహ రూపకల్పనలో ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారి సూచనలు, ఉప ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారి సూచనలు, మంత్రివర్గం, ప్రజాపాలన ప్రభుత్వం వారి సూచనల్ని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని తెలంగాణ తల్లి రూపురేఖల్ని రూపకల్పన చేసిన వారిలో రోడ్లు భవనాల శాఖ చేసిన ఒక తపస్సు లాంటి ప్రయత్నం మనకు తెలుసు. For the kind information of dignitaries from outside Telugu speaking area, Telangana Thalli is a symbolic goddess for Telangana state, which is, just by seeing you can have the inner meaning of that statue. Motherhood, తల్లిదనం మనకు మానవ జాతి రూపకల్పనకి అత్యంత ప్రధానమైంది. యాదేవి సర్వభూతేషు మాతృరూపేణ సంస్థిత, నమస్సస్యై 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 నమో నమః. ప్రకృతిలోని ప్రతి అణువులో కూడా మాతృస్ఫూర్తిని, మాతృమూర్తిని దర్శించమంటోంది మన భారతీయ సంస్కృతి. అలాగే యాదేవి సర్వభూతేషు జ్ఞానరూపేణ సంస్థిత. ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఆఫ్ సీనియర్ ఆఫీసర్స్ హియర్. ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ మినిస్టర్స్, సీఎం ఛాంబర్లో ఉన్నారు డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, మంత్రివర్యులంతా. For the kind information of panel speakers, dignitaries from different places, I would like to re-announce the details given by Gautam Garu. Hall 1 lo Experience Telangana Heritage, Culture and Future Ready Tourism. Honorable Minister Jupalli Krishnarao Garu chair chestaru. Alage Telangana's Olympic Gold Quest in Hall 2, Genome Valley and Beyond, Accelerating Innovation in Life Sciences, Hall 3, towards 3 trillion economy, leveraging capital and productivity in Hall 4. After the break for 10 to 15 minutes, we will have second session. In Hall 1, Investing in Inclusion, Prospects in Affordable Housing Sector. Hall 2, Moosi Rejuvenation and Blue-Green Infrastructure in Hyderabad. Hall 3, Connected Telangana, Integrated Transport and Urban-Rural Connectivity. And Hall 1 again, after lunch, Bharat FutureCity as a magnet for 3 trillion Telangana. Hall 2, Building Telangana's Entrepreneurship Ecosystem, Ease of Doing Business. Hall 3, Global Capability Centers in Telangana, from Scale to Impact. Hall 4, Innovative PPPs, Harnessing Private Capital Towards Public Goods. And last session is from 4 p.m. onwards, The Creative Century, India's Soft Power and the Future of Entertainment. You know, many illustrious personalities from Telugu film field, Tollywood, and we have heroes from Bollywood also taking part in this. Hall 2, Inclusive Prosperity, Expanding Opportunity for Everyone. Hall 3, Capital and Growth, Investment Pathways, Financial Hub, Strategy and High Impact Sectors. Hall 4 is Startups for 3 million Economy, Telangana 2047. దీంతో పాటు సాయంకాలం 6 గంటలకి ఈవినింగ్ 6 o'clock we have Telangana Rising 2047 vision document will be launched at 6 p.m. expecting all of you to be there. And 7 we have beautiful drone show, and 7:30 onwards we have dinner and cultural show. Thank you. నా తెలంగాణ కోటి రతనాల వీణ అని దాశరథి ఆ రోజంటే ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం రేవంత్ రెడ్డి గారు ఈరోజు అంటున్నారు, నా తెలంగాణ కోటి అవకాశాల ఖజానా అంటూ. ఈ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ని సద్వినియోగం చేసుకోవటానికి ఆల్ ఓవర్ ద వరల్డ్ షుడ్ లుక్ టువార్డ్స్ తెలంగాణ. దట్ ఈస్ ది డ్రీమ్ బై ప్రజాపాలనా ప్రభుత్వం. ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం గారు, ఆనరబుల్ డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, ఆనరబుల్ మినిస్టర్స్, ఆనరబుల్ అడ్వైజర్స్, ఆనరబుల్ సిఎస్ గారు, డీజీపీ గారు, ఇంకా అందరూ వేదికపైకి వేయించేసి ఉన్నారు. మనందరికీ తెలుసు, తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర సచివాలయంలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి విగ్రహాన్ని ప్రతిష్టాపన చేసి అదే తరహాలో అన్ని కలెక్టరేట్ ఆవరణల్లో అన్ని జిల్లాల్లో ఆ తల్లిని మనం దర్శించుకోవాలన్న సంకల్పం ప్రజాపాలనా ప్రభుత్వానిది. అందుకే ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం గారు, డిప్యూటీ సీఎం గారు, మంత్రివర్గం ఈరోజు పుష్పాంజలి ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం గారు, తెలంగాణ తల్లి రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా ఆవిష్కరణ చేయబడింది. గౌరవనీయులైన ముఖ్యమంత్రి, ఉప ముఖ్యమంత్రి, మంత్రివర్యులు ఇప్పుడు పుష్పాంజలి ఘటిస్తారు. ఇక్కడ ఇదే సందర్భంలో రాష్ట్రంలోని అన్ని చోట్ల కూడా తల్లికి నమస్కరించుకుంటూ అందరూ తెలంగాణ తల్లిని హృదయ పీఠికలపై ఆవిష్కరించుకున్నాం. ఇక్కడ భాగ్యనగరంలో ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు ఇలా రిమోట్ స్విచ్ నొక్కిన తరుణంలోనే రాష్ట్రంలో అన్ని జిల్లాల్లో ఆవిష్కరించుకోబడ్డ తెలంగాణ తల్లికి నమస్కరించుకుంటూ ఇప్పుడు అందరం గొంతెత్తి పాడదాం, జయ జయ హే తెలంగాణ. తెలంగాణ స్టేట్ సాంగ్, రాష్ట్ర గీతం జయ జయ హే తెలంగాణ.
జననీ జయకేతనం, ముకోటి గొంతుకలు ఒక్కటైన చేతనం, తరతరాల చరిత గల తల్లి నీరాజనం, పదపదాన నీ పిల్లలు ప్రణమిల్లిన శుభతరుణం. జయ తెలంగాణ, జయ జయ తెలంగాణ, జయ తెలంగాణ, జయ జయ తెలంగాణ. జీవన చావళీలు చాలువాన కవిగా
తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా జయధ్వానాలు ప్రతిరోజు ప్రతిపూట జయధ్వానాలు అందరికీ స్ఫూర్తిని అందించాలని, తెలంగాణ కీర్తిని ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తం చేయాలని ప్రజాపాలన ప్రభుత్వం తలపెట్టిన గ్లోబల్ సమ్మిట్ ఇంత అద్భుతంగా, అర్థవంతంగా, ఆర్థికంగా, హార్దికంగా ముందుకు సాగుతున్న వేదికపైన గౌరవనీయులు ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారి సందేశం. ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం's మెసేజ్.
తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో వివిధ జిల్లాల కలెక్టర్ కార్యాలయాలలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి విగ్రహ ఆవిష్కరణ కార్యక్రమాన్ని భారత్ ఫ్యూచర్ సిటీ, తెలంగాణ రైజింగ్ గ్లోబల్ సమ్మిట్ వేదికగా ఉప ముఖ్యమంత్రి వర్యులు బట్టి విక్రమార్క గారు, సహచర మంత్రివర్గ సభ్యులు, పార్లమెంట్ సభ్యులు, శాసనమండలి సభ్యులు, శాసనసభ్యులు, తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో పెట్టుబడులు పెట్టిన పారిశ్రామికవేత్తల సమక్షంలో కేంద్ర రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వ అధికారుల సమక్షంలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి విగ్రహ ఆవిష్కరణ ఈ కార్యక్రమం జరుపుకోవడం ఎంతో సంతోషం, ఒక శుభ పరిణామం. ఇక్కడున్న మిత్రులకు, దేశ ప్రజలందరికీ తెలుసు, డిసెంబర్ 9, 2009 నాడు యూపీఏ చైర్పర్సన్ శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారి నేతృత్వంలో ఆనాటి భారత ప్రధానమంత్రి డాక్టర్ మన్మోహన్ సింగ్ గారు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ఏర్పాటు ప్రక్రియను ప్రారంభించిందని ఆనాటి హోంశాఖ మహాత్ములు చిదంబరం గారు ప్రకటించిన ఒక మంచి రోజు. చిదంబరం గారు డిసెంబర్ 9, 2009 నాడు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ఏర్పాటు ప్రక్రియను ప్రారంభిస్తున్నామని ప్రకటించడంతో 6 దశాబ్దాల తెలంగాణ ప్రజల యొక్క 4 కోట్ల ప్రజల యొక్క ఆకాంక్షను ప్రతిబింబిస్తూ యూపీఏ ప్రభుత్వం తీసుకున్న నిర్ణయం ఈ ప్రాంత ప్రజలకు సంతోషాన్ని, ఆత్మగౌరవాన్ని అందించినాయి. అందుకే తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం ఏర్పడిన తర్వాత మొట్టమొదటిసారి ఏర్పడిన ప్రజాపాలన ఇందిరమ్మ రాజ్యంలో డిసెంబర్ 9కు ఉన్న ప్రాధాన్యతను గుర్తించి 60 సంవత్సరాల ప్రజల యొక్క బలమైన ఆకలి తీసుకొచ్చినాం. ఈనాడు తెలంగాణలో ఉన్న అన్ని జిల్లా కేంద్ర కార్యాలయాలలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి విగ్రహ ఆవిష్కరణను, ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని జరుపుకోవడం ద్వారా ప్రజల యొక్క ఆలోచనను, దళితులు, గిరిజనులు, ఆదివాసీలు, మైనారిటీల యొక్క ఆకాంక్షల్ని నెరవేర్చడానికి ప్రతినిత్యం స్ఫూర్తి పొందాలని తమ దినచర్య ప్రారంభమైనప్పుడు తెలంగాణ తల్లి యొక్క ఆశీర్వాదం, స్ఫూర్తిని తీసుకొని సంక్షేమాన్ని, అభివృద్ధిని ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లే విధంగా ఒక బలమైన సంకల్పాన్ని అందించాలి అని ఈనాడు మా ప్రభుత్వం నిర్ణయం తీసుకొని ఈ విగ్రహావిష్కరణ కార్యక్రమాన్ని మనం ప్రారంభించుకున్నాం. అదేవిధంగా మీకు అందరికీ తెలుసు, తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం యొక్క ఆకాంక్ష 2004 ఎన్నికల సందర్భంగా శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారు కరీంనగర్ గడ్డ మీద నుంచి ఈ ప్రజలకు ఒక మాట ఇచ్చారు. మీ ఆలోచన, ఆకాంక్ష నాకు తెలుసు, తప్పకుండా నెరవేరుతుంది అని. ఇచ్చిన మాట ప్రకారం ఎన్ని ఒడిదుడుకులు వచ్చినా, ఎన్ని అవాంతరాలు వచ్చినా అధిగమించి శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ఆవిష్కరణకు సంపూర్ణంగా సహకరించారు. ఈనాడు స్వరాష్ట్ర కళ నిజమై ఈరోజు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో నిటారుగా నిలబడి సంక్షేమము అభివృద్ధిని దేశంలోనే నెంబర్ 1గా తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం తీర్చిదిద్దుకుంటున్నది. అలాంటి గొప్ప నాయకురాలు ఇచ్చిన మాటకు కట్టుబడి ప్రజల ఆకాంక్ష నెరవేర్చిన గొప్ప నాయకురాలు శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారి జన్మదినం కూడా డిసెంబర్ 9 కావడం మా అందరికీ సంపూర్ణమైన సంతోషాన్ని కలిగించే ఈ పర్వదినం ప్రతి సంవత్సరం తెలంగాణ తల్లి అవతరణ దినోత్సవాలతో పాటు శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారి జన్మదిన ఉత్సవాలను కూడా 4 కోట్ల తెలంగాణ ప్రజలు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం ఉన్నంతకాలం జరుపుకుంటాం. ఎప్పటికీ మా గుండెల్లో మా రాష్ట్ర పరిపాలన విధానంలో మా సంక్షేమ అభివృద్ధి కార్యక్రమాలలో శ్రీమతి సోనియా గాంధీ గారి స్ఫూర్తి, డాక్టర్ మన్మోహన్ సింగ్ గారి యొక్క విజన్ ప్రస్ఫుటంగా అమలు జరుగుతుంది. ఈ సమ్మిట్ కార్యక్రమంలో పాల్గొన్న వివిధ దేశాల నుంచి వచ్చిన ప్రతినిధులకు, ఈ దేశంలో ఉన్న పారిశ్రామికవేత్తలకు, ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని విజయవంతం చేసిన అధికారులకందరికీ మరొక్కసారి తెలంగాణ తల్లి అవతరణ దినోత్సవ శుభాకాంక్షలు తెలియజేస్తూ మీ అందరి దగ్గర సెలవు తీసుకుంటున్నాను. ధన్యవాదాలు.
Honorable CM has greeted all the dignitaries from all over the world. On behalf of Honorable CM, Honorable Deputy CM and Honorable Ministers, Honorable Advisors, Government of Telangana is thankful to all the guests here. కోటి తెలుగుల బంగారు కొండ కింద పరచు కొండట్టి సరస్సు లోపల వసించి పొద్దు పొద్దున అందాల పూలు పూయి నా తెలంగాణ తల్లి కంజాతవల్లి అన్న దాశరథిని గుర్తు చేసుకుంటూ ఇప్పుడు ఇదే హాల్లో సెషన్ ఆరంభమవుతుంది. జీనోమ్ వ్యాలీకి వచ్చిన సెషన్. హాల్ నెంబర్ 1 జీనోమ్ వ్యాలీ, హాల్ నెంబర్ 2 స్పోర్ట్స్, హాల్ నెంబర్ 3 టూరిజం, హాల్ నెంబర్ 4 $3 trillion economy. I would like to repeat, concerned panel speakers, dignitaries from different parts are requested to be available at respective halls. Hall number 1 Genome Valley, hall number 2 Sports, hall number 3 Tourism, hall number 4 $3 trillion economy. These are the subjects. Thanks to one and all.
Up, as minister is requesting in his every meeting, when India will become, Hyderabad will create $1 billion new drug. I think, in my opinion, it is not going to happen in small molecules. It is going to happen in large molecules. I think that is the kind of talent Genome Valley is also creating. And Genome Valley is celebrating 25th year this year. In the 25 years, Genome Valley has grown 25 times, I can tell you very clearly. So we celebrate, we were in Genome Valley for the last 20 years, and the growth we have seen in Genome Valley is remarkable. That was because of the good governments and also good governance, and also the availability of talent within this region attracted so many people. As minister said, we have 30,000 scientists in Genome Valley. You name any company in India, they have a R&D there. You name most of the global companies have also presence there. So, in my opinion, the new modalities like flow chemistry, biocatalysis, fermentation, cell and gene therapy, India can put, and Hyderabad especially, can take lead in these modalities. Instead of following, we can have the ability to lead. That means if you have to lead, you have to choose the recent advances in science. We can't take the very old chemistry and try to do that. So if companies focus on cell therapy, gene therapy, drug conjugates, biology, flow chemistry, I'm sure Hyderabad companies and companies based out of Geneva Valley can lead the space.
It's truly, I think, creating strategic leadership and impact. Laura's involvement in trying to bring together CAR-T at a both accessible and affordable via ImmunoAct. I mean, these are something which is kind of inspiring, not just for Telangana, but for the entire country as well. Let me shift to Dr. Madan Mohan Reddy and continuing the discussion on volume to value transition. While retaining the dominance on volumes, I think it's very important to create high impact innovation at scale. Aurobindo has made strong moves in injectables, biosimilars, and specialty products. What strategic advantages does Telangana offer for scaling these value-oriented verticals?
Over the past few years, Aurobindo invested in substantial investment in injectables, biosimilars, peptides, hormones, and some complex molecules. These are all required lot of money to invest on these products. Where we required is the strong ecosystem. Without that, I don't think we can achieve the results. Telangana provides exactly that. If you take three areas of importance for this ecosystem, is one of that is that infrastructure. The infrastructure is exceptional in Telangana. Genome Valley, Medical Device Park, existing mega parks, future more number of industrial parks like Genome Valley will give entire value chain from discovery to process development, process optimization, commercial, and then in the large scale way it can help. These are all can happen only when there is a good environment in the ecosystem, especially like the utilities, especially what you can call it as power. Quality power must be there for the industry, and the land availability, and then skilled manpower. All these things, it will help to industry to go for this type of development. The second important concern is the talent pool. Talent pool in Telangana is unmatchable in India. The institutes like DRILS, CCMB, IACT, NIPER, and there are pharmacy colleges, biotech schools. These are all continuously generating lot of professionals in the line of this regulatory, this analytical experts, then microbiologists. This is that what these institutes are doing to help this ecosystem make sure that we are all successful. The third point is government partnership. It has been a real differentiate. These environment approvals, the product approvals, these are all will go for that quickly can scale up and go into the commercial. These are also help. These are the three areas where I feel there is a lot of the dependency on this particular Telangana on this subject.
Thank you, Dr. Madan Mohan Reddy. If we were to look at specific areas from the context of 2047, which one do you think would require a greater priority, and also we need to improve the ecosystem? Long-acting injectables, peptide therapeutics, or in general the complex generics?
Before that, actually, here today, if you want to sustain this, especially today regulations, I think everyone might be seeing, day by day, the expectations are going up like anything. Thanks to technology and then regulators, the way they are working on this, their expectations are becoming very, very stringent. If we want to meet those expectations, especially I feel there are four areas where we should be able to concentrate. One is Center of Excellence for Quality Systems. For this, we need facilities to provide GMP experiences and stimulation for aseptic behaviors and media fields, smoke studies. These are all require some type of stimulation studies for the students before joining with the industry. It will help industry to meet those requirements, whatever that regulators are expecting. Probably this will help us to quickly can apply at the shop floor. The other one is that collaboration with the regulatory science platform where we need to have, government has to create a hub for this type of meetings, academic and industry and regulators all together to make sure that to have workshops, mock audits, mock inspections, scientific advice forms and ICH harmonized training programs must happen. That is where at least we can have strengthened this, particularly on this expectation of the regulators. The third point is rightly said by Sridhar Babu garu about digital quality transformation is very important for the industry. Quickly we need to go into EBMRs, MIS and LIMS and whatever is possible in the industry, try to convert into a digital where we can minimize the risk. At least we can have a better compliance and also the partners who is going to work with us, they will be happy with this type of systems where we have. It is going to be an advantage for the industry to move forward. The fourth one is that, what is that workforce development? Even though there are people are working at the shop floors, always we need to continuously, we need to work towards that improvement of their skill. We should be able to have a lot of regulatory meetings, training programs. This is that what industry has to spend a lot of money on this to make sure that on the compliance part.
Thank you for your valuable insight. I think these are very important areas to consider as we kind of strengthen the ecosystem creation. Let me quickly have your views. Granules is synonymous to, first in line defense kind of in the healthcare. You have produced a lot of high volume products and we now see that you are transitioning into more complex products. I mean, you have shown leadership in integrated, the end-to-end kind of a pharma business. There are some news that you are also going to step into peptides and peptide CDMO. We'd like to have your views. Is this a conscious transition from volume-based to high-value and niche areas?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Srinivas Garu, and good morning to everybody on the panel and Sridhar Reddy Babu Garu. First of all, I just like to say that I resonate with everything Satyanarayana Garu and Madan Mohan Reddy Garu said about innovation and moving from high volume to high value. But from my perspective, one thing that I definitely want to emphasize is how much ever high value products you get into, I think it's very important for companies to focus on the basic essentials. And value can be defined in very many ways. Even a simple product that a patient needs on a day-to-day basis, if made in a very different way, can be, in a very innovative way, can be made very cost efficient. And that in itself can create a lot of tangible and intangible value for a country like India and for a state like Telangana. Today, even though Telangana and India were known for high volume products and now moving to high value innovative products, the basics of those products, the KSMs, the APIs, etc., a lot of them are still imported from China. And that is something I personally think we should focus on in a very different way. I'm not saying just cost, but make them in a sustainable manner. So in my opinion, while we and even Granules focuses on more value-added products and also on more innovation-led products, our innovation and our request to the government is to support companies like us in a way where, say, green technologies, say continuous improvement processes, energy-saving route processes are all provided grants for, provided subsidies for, or encouraged. And I think that would provide some sort of a strategic national infrastructure that Telangana should be proud of. And doing that will put us ahead of many other countries in the world.
Thank you. I think you kind of alluded to what would also follow, to have a quick view on building the greener and more sustainable ecosystem for the infrastructure. Dr. Anand Kumar, your perspective would be very important because we are a volume-driven vaccine player, but there appear to be important areas like vector-based vaccines, mRNA-based platforms, and also looking at recombinant subunit constructs. How is ILL, Indian Immunologicals, navigating through this transition to more complex areas, and how do you think the ecosystem can gear up to support a kind of a leadership position again in this high technology, high intensive areas?
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for this question. We are very fortunate to be living in a developing country like India, where whether it be an animal vaccine or a human vaccine, majority of the procurement is done by the government. So this value should not be purely considered in monetary terms. It should be based on the impact that a product creates. So in India, because government procures majority of the vaccines and provides free to our citizens, still it will be affordability will be a very, very important parameter. And in terms of how the vaccine world has changed post-COVID, I mean, if you see the number of pharmaceutical companies in Hyderabad or probably in India, there are several thousands. But if you see the number of vaccine companies in India who are seriously into business, there are only 8 companies in India. And 2 main reasons why this is so is vaccine requires a lot of capital investment, and also the regulatory procedures for approval are also very, very long. So to sustain this, it requires a lot of investment also, and also a lot of patience. Now, having said that, a lot of changes are happening, especially COVID gave an opportunity for many, many technologies which were just developed at the university levels but were always kept on the shelves. But COVID gave a great opportunity to bring them all, especially vaccines which used mRNA and also the adenoviral vector vaccines. See, we as an organization, I mean, we have been in Hyderabad since 1982. As a company which has made both animal and human vaccines, we are the single largest contributor to India achieving self-sufficiency in the field of vaccines. Now, what would be the future like? Now, with newer technologies and also newer mechanisms of delivery, this game is going to change. One is, there is a lot of emphasis on mRNA vaccines, which got introduced as a part of the COVID, which gives you tremendous speed to develop. And it also doesn't require huge capital investment. And so what this would do is it would allow many players to come into this space. And currently the mRNA vaccines are prohibitively expensive because of the technology at the present state. But as months and years come by, I'm sure, because there are now self-amplifying mRNA, which the dose required is 1/10 of what is required at the present moment. So that will significantly reduce the cost. And also now artificial intelligence is being used in vaccines in a big way. For example, artificial intelligence is used to select a vaccine antigen within a virus or bacteria which can give you a longer duration of immunity. See, duration of immunity, especially given our population of 1.4 billion, it's not feasible or practical to bring people into the clinics for vaccination very often. So the vaccines developed for the future should be something where you administer once and the frequency should be very, very minimal. So that is another area which currently companies, including ours, are working on using AI to detect and select antigens which can give a longer duration of immunity. Then third thing is, even for a particular virus, several regions have different strains and serotypes. So it's a supply chain nightmare to make country-specific vaccines for a particular virus. So now attempts are being made where we can create a vaccine with a broader, like a broad spectrum antibiotic, also a broader vaccine which can cover many strains which are prevalent in other geographies. Fourth one is, there's a new area. I mean, every time we know about a vaccine, we always think about it as an injectable. But then now many oral and intranasal vaccines also are being developed because this offers ease of administration, and also for our kind of population, it's very easy to administer many thousands in one go. So we actually, during the COVID time, along with Griffith University, developed intranasal vaccine for COVID-19, which was very successful. But because it was a live attenuated vaccine, it had to go through a long regulatory grind, and that's why we couldn't make it available at that time. Another thing is delivery. Now, vaccines we always think as an injectable. Now there are many technologies which are being developed in the form of patches. So especially for children, you need, the needle is a very painful thing, and also the needle uses a lot of plastic. So now microarray patches are all being developed, which help in delivery. So we also are developing patches for our measles rubella vaccine. Also we are trying out for the hepatitis B vaccine. Another thing is about thermostability. Maintaining a cold chain, also supplying vaccines through the cold chain is a very expensive affair. So quite a lot of effort is also going on trying to make vaccines which are much more thermostable. So these are all areas which we are developing, and of course in India or in any developing country, while you address the science part, always you should make in mind that it has to be accessible and also affordable. And we have been here in Hyderabad, our first manufacturing plant started in 1982 in Gachibowli, and later we also have two plants now in the Genome Valley Biotech Park. The first one started in 2012, and now we are establishing another plant spending about 700 crores, which will be mainly for animal vaccines, for both for India and also for outside.
Thank you, Dr. Anand Kumar. Just wanted to kind of transition into, there is another big expectation in terms of sustainability, digital integration, because all these are becoming expectations from the global regulatory agencies. On one side, we are navigating foray into complex products and complex by technology. In the context of Indian immunologicals, how are you kind of transitioning the manufacturing into a more sustainable manufacturing? Your quick views on that would be very helpful.
So we are a very socially conscious organization. We have tried to balance as much as possible between profits and social good. We have caught on to this One Health concept many decades ago. Today One Health is being widely talked about, but IL has been doing this One Health because we are making both animal and human vaccines, and we significantly contribute to the health of both. The third element in all this is the environment. See, any manufacturing activity will cause some amount of harm to the environment that we live in. So it's all about how do we minimize that so that we leave this planet in a state where our future generation can live, in a very happy manner. So we at IL have undertaken many initiatives which will reduce our dependence on fossil fuel. For example, earlier days we used to use high-speed diesel for all our generators and boilers, but now significantly for our boilers we switched over to natural gases and LPG or CNG. Similarly, we have solar installations wherever possible. And all our manufacturing plants are zero liquid discharge. That means we don't leave anything into the open. So we recycle and reuse nearly 30 to 35% of the water in our manufacturing plants in such a manner that our consumption also is significantly reduced, because you have to be very, very cautious about the power and water utilization. Plus, we have automated a lot of our manufacturing in such a manner that we can make more and more by using very less resources. So automation did give about 20 to 25% increase in yield. So thereby we are able to use very little resources. And also, like any other organization which is very, very active in the space of quality, all the systems that we implement ensures that all the waste is reduced to a significant level. So many, many objectives of this nature, and also as a part of our CSR activities, we significantly contribute in the space of providing biogas units to many, many households. So there also we address the environment aspects this way.
Thank you, Dr. Anand Kumar. In the remaining few minutes, maybe I'll try to request a quick view of Dr. Satyanarayana Chava. I know Laurus has always been a leader in absorbing new technologies, both at R&D to manufacturing. What kind of your thoughts on how we can, the ecosystem can support a transition into greener manufacturing, and also your thoughts on what policy would be kind of enabling this transition in a very effective way? Because at the end of the day, we'll have to balance sustainability and affordability together.
See, in my opinion, to become competitive in the small molecule manufacturing, I always feel use of flow chemistry, continuous manufacturing, and use of biocatalysis in the small molecule manufacturing will put the country in the forefront. See, if you look at everybody talks about sustainability. If you have to become a sustainable company and put a sustainable product, it has to be cheaper. It has to be cleaner. It has to be greener. It has to be safer. That means you have to make your processes cleaner, greener and safer, and also cheaper. If you say, I'm a sustainable company, sustainable product, but pay me 20% more, nobody is going to pay. So for you to become competitive, you have to embrace all these technologies, use biology wherever is feasible, use continuous manufacturing wherever is feasible. I think if you use these technologies, I think country will make good progress.
Thank you. Moving on to Ms. Chigurupati. There is this transition of manufacturing to sustainability, and there is a lot about science-based targets initiative and looking into the carbon footprint, circularity. We know that Granules is making strategic moves in terms of, complying with these expectations. Can you please maybe highlight for all of us what is Granules doing and why?
And why? I think Dr. Chava just answered that. It's the need of the hour. But I think Granules has been one of the first companies that has declared its SBTi targets for net zero by 2050, which is very much in line with even Telangana's targets and the country's targets, and 42% reduction by 2030. Of carbon emissions. The second thing that we have done is we have also committed to a progressive shift to 100% renewable energy by 2032. We've also adopted a lot of green chemistry and, like Dr. Chava said, continuous processing, etc., into the most basic products and even the future value-added products that we are embarking upon right now. And on the G side of things, Pharma Pathashala is one thing that we have really taken upon ourselves, and it's actually something that Chairman, it's very close to Chairman's heart, that will actually enable skill development to do all these things going forward. So in Pharma Pathashala, we essentially hire children from rural areas, 16 to 17-year-old boys and girls. We educate them, we teach them industry-specific skills, then we give them employment in our company for 3 years and a diploma while all their costs are taken care of. So I think all these put together are a part of sustainability targets, ESG ratings, as you can imagine. And Granules has been amongst, we just got an EcoVadis rating about 6 months back, where we're in the 95th percentile and we have a gold rating, which only the top 5% of companies in the world have. So this is one area of focus that we have as a company. And I think it's very important for every company to adopt this.
I think you have made a very important point, because when we look into the adherence to Scope 1, Scope 2 and Scope 3 emissions, we're also trying to look at creation of an entire ecosystem and backward integration so that this becomes a preferred destination hub for all the global players. So a quick view, Dr. Madan Mohan Reddy, on how Aurobindo is really taking this transition forward and the leadership from, especially when we look at energy compliance and looking at the adoption of the greener practices. You have obviously taken by the entire fermentation game into the next level. Some insights along this context.
By 2047, sustainability will be the regulatory requirement, not a choice. All industry thinking to not only, there are two ways industry always work on that. One is for the benefit of the industry, other is that for the nature of that, whatever that sustainability requirement. As per Aurobindo concern, last couple of years, we are spending lot of time and energy on certain parameters where we are going, majority of the products we are working on the enzymatic routes, and we are also working especially the manufacturing. We are working on the continuous manufacturing so that we can minimize that wastages. Like I can give the example of that one of the product, like 6-APA. That is penicillin G to 6-APA is the one process. Before we used to do is a chemical reaction. Now it is an enzymatic reaction where water is the only one requirement. There is no any chemical involved in this. Enzyme and then water is the requirement. So today what Dr. Satyanarayana said rightly, China, they are all working on this purely, every product they are working towards that enzymatic routes. The reason is we can minimize this, all these solvents, all these chemicals. So every company is working in the direction. And also on the energy part, if you go and then see today, we are all working towards this solar systems where we are spending a lot of money on this, especially power is the second highest cost in our manufacturing after this raw materials. The utility cost is the highest cost in our manufacturing. Next is the manpower cost is the major. These three, effectively if you work, I think any industry will go in a very profitable way, you can see. Today, all organizations, they are constantly working on the AI technologies, and then all automations, especially in the manufacturing area. So each and every portion we are making, it is not like that our objective is reducing manpower. How qualitatively you can deliver the product is the catch. If you don't have this, I don't think we can win this, and then we will be there in this, especially in the pharmaceutical business.
Thank you, Dr. Madan Mohan Reddy. I think we have got some really important insights, and if I look back into the Genome Valley, it's about having the right DNA and having the right building blocks which will code for the right RNA and eventually the protein. Before we conclude, we've also got some very important aspects of what would be the desirable policy-based recommendations and infrastructure creation. Sir, I would like to request, before we conclude, what message would you like to give to the global innovators as well as investors to consider Telangana as a long-term life sciences destination?
Yes, thanks for all the input given by the industry leaders over here. And in fact, all the global leaders and the leaders from India who are all here. And everybody knows over a period of time, Hyderabad and the state of Telangana has become the vaccine capital. I can't say thanks to COVID, but it is exhibited. When world required us, you all people were there, and Telangana proved its mettle. Thanks to everybody over here. And secondly, over the past 2 years, when we set the process of our governance. And our Chief Minister and our government, has reflected to the industry partners that all the policy initiatives by the earlier governments will be forwarded or pushed forward. And over the past 30 years, if you have seen the industry ecosystem over here, has proven that even though different ideological, political leaders exist on governance, our perspective, our focus will be to develop the industry and to see that the fruits of this industry will be shared among our people. And that's how, these 2 years too, we were very keen to enhance the policy initiatives, which shall be globally competitive, and we will rise to the global standards of our policy making. And this is how, the great excellent team what we have in the government, we could able to really get about 63,000 crores in just 2 years as investment from different global partners. And thanks to all the industry partners who have trust in us, who have accepted the leadership over here, and who would like to take the advantage of the ecosystem which is available over here. And everybody knows this, Hyderabad and this state of Telangana is home to 8 of the world's 10 pharma companies and about 2,000 life sciences firms. I wish to tell you that it's the firms all put together value about $100 billion over here. So my message to the prospective investor over here, whatever the great leaders on the days or off the days who you interact over a period of this day will reflect what is the great ecosystem available over here, what is the potential available over here, and what the nuances of the government is taking. And secondly, to mention, as to reacting to the industry leaders here on the days, when Satyagaru was mentioning about universities. So we are specifically trying to focus on the areas of the domain expertise universities and also the general universities, the common universities. And we have come up to all the people over here, the new initiative which our government has taken is to come up with a Young India Skills University to impart skills, only specifically to skills which are required by the industry. When we found that there is a gap between academia and the industry, so the gap has to be filled. How do we fill it? The classic example is when we have come up with the life sciences university, the skills university, and I would like to mention, it is totally industry driven. The industry captain, like Anand Mahindra, is the chairman. Government as such only facilitates the running and the governance of the university. And many industry partners, the captains have come to share the burden of teaching and training the students who come over there. And in terms of the life sciences and the pharma, I would like to mention, when we have floated this initially, the first taker was Mr. Satish Reddy of Reddy Pharma, Reddy Labs. 2 batches have come out, and those people who are skilled, only specifics to the life sciences, they have been attracted mostly by the Dr. Reddy Labs, which is a win-win situation for them because they will be ready on the job, ready for the job on the day one. Likewise, we have sectoral training in this life sciences university, in this skill university. So when, our director was mentioning about to float a life sciences specific domain expertise university, we jumped into the idea, and skilling as such is a most important criteria for us, for our government too. And that's how we have come up with the Life Sciences University. So I wish to mention before all the global investors over here that please come and join us to build the world-class life sciences system. Telangana is a place where you should be there. With, all the people were just telling that we have the world-class infrastructure. And I'm not, selfish to say we have very, very proactive policy environment over here. And thanks to all young students and young employees who have the high-quality talent here. And the spirit of the deep scientific capability is here in Hyderabad. And strong regulatory equipment is placed in Hyderabad. So these are all important aspects. When you come and partner with us, we will try to provide you all with us. We always see the global companies as a partner would be shaping their future and also they're shaping our state future. We would love to come see not just as an investors. Please come and share our journey. Share the dream what we have for 2047. And the vision of 2047 that looks ahead. We will definitely share the vision what we have interacted with the industry leaders, and we are coming up with a policy perspective. Sir, while taking the account of, all the elders on the days who have been specifically mentioning about few things, when they've been mentioning about the frontier biology, about the flow chemistry or the biologics, or the gene therapy or synthetic biology. We are working absolutely, whatever the input what they have given is absolutely necessary to build that sort of a systems. Almost all the systems are in place. We will try to enhance and value add for it. And when Madan Mohan Reddy was mentioning about the quality power, we know that the power is most important raw material for the pharma and the life sciences industry. And that is the reason after such a long time, if you have seen, we have come up with a new energy policy. This new energy policy will help industries to grow, will help industries to have access for the open access or to build their own systems of the energy building. We are also keenly stressing our point in building the green energy systems, and that's how the new energy policy is focusing on PSPs. Our new energy policy is focusing on the solar power, and new energy policies are mentioning about the power banking too. So these are the few key advantages what you have been mentioning about, sir, you are mentioning about the regulatory framework, how it should be. The regulatory framework as such, in all the 5 clusters, because I had been to Basel also. I've been trying to know the systems over there in the Basel too. The regulatory framework over there is too stringent because it is concerned about healthcare. As everybody is very conscious, all the industry leaders are also very conscious about the healthcare. So, in terms, what Mr. Madan Mohan Reddy are mentioning is to have a constant interaction between the industry and also with the regulatory framework holders and also with the policy makers. So, we would like to come up with an idea of having a regulatory flow auditors meeting with industry along with our policy makers, including me and my team. Every 6 months we will love to have that. This is the new initiative right now we are mentioning from here. And in terms of, quality power or the land availability or the talent power, I always take pride in my, talent pool and all. What Priyaji was mentioning about the green technologies, we are here for it. And what Anand Kumar was mentioning about the affordability, how you create we take the conscious of it. Ultimately, I would like to tell to all the global investors over here and the partners who have sailed with us for over the past 30 to 40 years. You know, our mention is from pharma pillar. We have to grow as India's farmers engine, where we'll become the world's advanced sustainable manufacturing here. That is our future vision. And in terms of medtech, where the convergence of our pharma with the technology, because we are technology-driven state, we would love to see that the domain expertise like the med field, the bio field converges with the tech and becomes from the vaccine leadership to the global epicenter for frontier technology centers in biologics and the therapy. And third thing, what we are mentioning, Anandji, is a medtech pillar, where we would like to focus from India's integrated medtech hub into a global hub for intelligent device and the procreation center. We would like to come up as a pillar for that, and absolutely, what the need of our is the innovation center. We would like to powerhouse this Hyderabad as a global innovation center for tomorrow, from hosting the world's top 10 pharma and also the major vaccine companies, and becoming the global command circle of innovation. This is our vision in 2047, the vision document which will be released by our Chief Minister, Mr. Revanth Reddy. And with this hope, I could able to convince most of the global players to come and part and be parcel of our ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a truly inspiring sharing your vision for a very strategic and all the moves. And it was really a privilege to listen to some very important inputs that would become essential elements as we progress from today to 2047 in realizing the vision. On that note, I think it was a privilege to be part of the panel, and I thank all the panelists, esteemed members, and Honorable Minister for their valuable time.
Thank you so much, Minister Garu. Thank you, Dr. Srinivas Garu, and all our panelists for such a thoughtful and a forward-looking discussion. Before we conclude, I request Honorable Minister Garu to felicitate our panelists. We'll start with Dr. Chava, Dr. Satyanarayana Chava, Chairman, CEO, Laurus Labs. I request Minister Garu to felicitate our panelists here on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Satyanarayana Chava, Chairman, CEO, Laurus Labs. Dr. Madan Mohan Reddy, Director, Aurobindo Pharma. Dr. Anand Kumar, Managing Director, IIL. Ms. Priyanka Chigurupati, Executive Director, Granules India Limited. Dr. Srinivas Oruganti, our moderator for this panel. Director, Dr. Reddy's Institute of Life Sciences. And now I request all of you to please step forward for a group photograph. And I request Sri Sanjay Kumar Garu and Sri Shakti Nagappa Garu, Director for Life Sciences and Pharma, Government of Telangana, to please join us on stage for a picture. Sri Sanjay Kumar Garu and Sri Shakti Nagappa Garu. Once again, thanking our panelists for joining us on stage for such a thoughtful discussion. On behalf of the organizers and everyone present here, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for your time, knowledge and your commitment to shaping Telangana's life sciences vision for 2047. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to move on to our next session of our panel discussion, and that's investing in inclusion, prospects in affordable housing. In just few minutes, we are about to begin the next panel discussion that is set for the day. By 9 shades, 9. I request, I can see many of you all standing back there. So I request all of you to please take your seats, make yourself comfortable and engage yourself in such a wonderful discussions that's happening here since morning. Moving on to the next panel discussion, which carries the theme, investing in inclusion prospects in affordable housing. Our next session explores an issue at the heart of equitable development, affordable housing. As Telangana grows, the question becomes, how do we build spaces that are not only accessible and climate resilient, but also reflect dignity and community? We begin with our distinguished speakers who bring in their deep experience across sustainability, environmental planning and social infrastructure.
Depth. So may I request Ms. Kranti to present the mementos. These are also a special mementos, the Cheriala artwork and the Pochampalli shawls. Please put your hands together for all the speakers for giving us the insight on the heritage, creativity and the sustainable planning coming together to shape the vibrant destinations. Thank you so much to Jupalli Krishnarao Garu and also Srimati Surekha Garu. Thank you so much, ma'am. Our next session will start immediately. The shawls are having the geographical indicators with them that shows that they've been directly from the
I'd request Mr. Gautam Garu, Special Secretary Housing, to please join us on the dais. And now let me welcome our distinguished panelists who are here to join us in the summit in the panel discussion this morning. We'll start with Mr. Vasudevan Suresh Garu, former CMD, HUDCO. Mr. Vasudevan has served in HUDCO in various capacities for 23 plus years and has become the CMD of the HUDCO, during which HUDCO registered all-round growth in housing, infrastructure development and finances with techno-financial assistance and many others, retail finances as well. Let's welcome Mr. Vasudevan Suresh Garu on stage. May we have on stage Mr. Abhijit Shankar Ray, Senior Urban Specialist, World Bank. Mr. Abhijit Shankar Ray is a Senior Urban Development Specialist based out of World Bank's office in New Delhi, bringing 20 years of experience of working in the urban sector in and Southeast Asia. Very warm welcome to you, sir. May we also have on stage Dr. P.S.N. Rao, Dean and Professor of SPA, Delhi. Professor Dr. P.S.N. Rao is a very well-known urban planning, housing and real estate expert of India with 38 years of experience. Welcome, sir. May we also have on stage Mr. G. Rami Reddy Garu, President-elect CREDAI National. Mr. Rami Reddy Garu is an entrepreneur, philanthropist and current CMD of ARK Group. As a leader in his organization, the industry and community, he stands tall with an illustrious career of 34 plus years. A very warm welcome to you, sir. May I now invite Mr. Nandakishore Garu, MD, Ramke Estates and Farms Limited. A very warm welcome to Mr. Nanda Kishore Garu, MD, Ramke Estates and Farms Limited. May we also invite Mr. Ajitesh Garu, founder of ASBL. Mr. Ajitesh Korupolu, founder of ASBL. And now may I invite the moderator of this panel discussion this morning, Mr. Preetham Mehra, Senior Executive Director and Head, Government Practice CBRE, India. Let me welcome Mr. Preetham Mehra, who is going to moderate this panel discussion this morning. Over to you, sir.
A very good afternoon to everybody in the hall. It is my pleasure and privilege to have such a distinguished panel along with the Honorable Minister for the Housing Department for the state of Telangana. Sir, thank you so much for taking the time and being with us. It's also a pleasure to have Mr. Gautam, Special Secretary Housing, Government of Telangana on the dais with us. And of course, you already heard the profile of the panel speakers on stage. It has been a pleasure for us to have all of them here. A lot of them have flown down to Hyderabad to attend this specific event and to be part of this distinguished panel. Before we start the panel discussion, it is my pleasure to invite the Honorable Minister to share a few words and his vision for the Housing Department for the state of Telangana.
Good afternoon to all. It is a great privilege to address this important session on affordable housing policy for urban future, Telangana Model 2047. As part of the Telangana Raising 2047 Global Summit, today's discussion is the Art of Telangana Vision 2047 as prosperous, inclusive and human society where every family, regardless of income or background, has a safe, secure and dignified home. Historically, Telangana has always contributed for provision of housing towards all sections in the state. With our government constructing over 42 lakhs houses under old Indiramma scheme and now another 3.5 lakhs houses in progress under new Indiramma Illu scheme. Housing Board and Rajiv Swagraha have also contributed to over 1 lakh middle income houses. However, there is a huge gap between demand and supply. So, time has come to move beyond individual schemes and to formulate a comprehensive affordable housing policy that can guide our action till 2047. We are therefore working towards a Telangana Model 2047 where we aim to have a affordable housing policy with specific focus on needs in urban areas that will be balanced, financially visible, viable, socially inclusive, environmental responsible, technology driven, etc. The Telangana Affordable Housing Policy will be in line with the Telangana Raising 2047 vision with focuses on three major areas. Telangana core urban region focusing on some slums redevelopment, brownfield redevelopment, mixed housing, rental housing. In the peri-urban region, focusing on satellite, greenfield townships, integrated housing colonies with walk-to-work housing with strong consistency. In rest of the state region, focusing on development of small and medium townships, rental and worker housing, integrated with the industrial parks, logistic hubs and emerging economic corridors. Our esteemed panel will help us answer three very questions in this regard. What must the government of Telangana do differently? What can financial institutions to do? Increase affordable housing finances. What commitment can private sector make to for promoting affordable housing? Friends, we are committed to taking the outcomes of the discussions behind this room into policy notifications, operational guidelines, model projects and budgetary decisions. Telangana has the vision, the institutional base and the economic strength to become a national and global example of inclusive urbanization. With your ideas and partnership, I am confident that the Telangana model of affordable housing 2047 will not only serve our state, but also offer learning and inspiration for affordable housing development. On that note, I once again welcome all of you to this session. Thank you for your presence and look forward to a rich and efficient decisions. Jai Hind, Jai Telangana. Pleasant.
Honorable Minister, sir, thank you so very much for your kind and encouraging words. We all are excited about the prospects for housing in the state, and with your leadership, we are very confident that Telangana will reach newer heights, particularly in the affordable housing segment. Thank you so much once again, sir. With this, we'll start the panel discussion, and as you are already aware, the panel consists of members from various facets of the housing sector. We are privileged to have the Dean of the School of Planning and Architecture, Delhi, which is the premier most institute in India for housing and development. Dr. Rao, if I could direct the first question to you, sir. What are the opportunities and market gaps with regard to housing for all? This has been a topic which has been going on for many, many years. What do you think are the market opportunities and gaps and at an India level and more specifically at the Telangana level, sir?
Certainly. I think this is a very topical...
Sir, the mic can be a little closer to you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Minister, with your kind permission. I think this is a very, very important and topical subject that has been chosen for discussion today. Housing, as we all know, has a lot of forward and backward linkages. So any investments that are made in the housing sector actually lead to greater economic opportunities in as many as about 230 or 240 odd industries, both forward linkages and backward linkages. So investments in housing would mean investments in a wide variety of other areas where there's a lot of employment opportunities that are going to be given to our people. Because without employment, there's no money, and without money, there's no housing. Let's remember that. You have to have money if you want to buy a house, whether you are a very rich person or not so very rich person. some amount of money is always required, and if you don't have that, of course, there are financial institutions and there are others who can always chip in and give you some loans and so on and so forth. The opportunity for the market, for the industry, I presume is what you are asking. Yes, there is a huge housing shortage in this country. We are only about 40% urban. The last time we had a census was quite some time ago. But while we are waiting for the next census, we presume that we are about 40% urban. So we still have a large number of people living in the rural areas, and we still have a lot of people who want to migrate into the urban areas because of the employment opportunities, which means that whatever is the urban housing shortage, which is in several millions, is only going to increase in the times to come, which means that the opportunity is humongous. There are some estimates that as of the year 2022, the urban housing shortage, the total housing shortage in Telangana is about 2.8 million, out of which a major chunk actually happens to be in the urban areas and a very small percentage in the rural areas. This is obviously going to increase in the times to come when more people from the rural areas will come to the urban areas. Now, market opportunity, the government is already doing its bit. You have the Indiramma Housing Scheme, you have the Andhra Pradesh Housing Board, you have the AP Housing Corporation Limited. They are doing a fairly good job. You have the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Urban and Shahri and Gramin. Some funds are coming from there, some funds are coming from the HUDCO as well. But is that enough? That is clearly not enough, because we still have a large number of people living in the slum areas, which are in not just Hyderabad, but several other urban centers in the state of Telangana. So, what do we do with them? There is a huge corporate sector, real estate developers. We have members from the CREDAI also here with us. And real estate developers are providing a lot of housing in the urban areas. But this housing is, of course, for the upper and middle income segment. Can they also downmarket their products? Can they also provide for the lower income population who cannot afford maybe a 3-bedroomed house, but can perhaps afford a 1-bedroom house, maybe something costing 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs. Why cannot they provide for it? Unfortunately, in our country, there is also luxury housing demand. So developers, obviously, they are in here for making money. So they are catering to the luxury housing demand, which perhaps is now more or less getting saturated. If you look at the inventory overhang, if you look at the vacant housing, there are figures where luxury housing is more or less now saturated. So if developers want to remain in the business, then I think you better start building small, get into the one-room segment. I'll not use the word affordable, I'll not use the word low income, because we don't want to go the nano way. So I need only a one-room house. I could be a rich man, I could be a poor man, whatever. So you have products which are of a wide variety, wide range, wide ticket size, costing from 20 lakh, 30 lakh, 40 lakh, going up to 2 crore and 3 crore. And whoever wants to buy whatever, they can come and buy. So there is a huge unmet demand, and there is a market opportunity here. And real estate developers, many of them are coming and buying. There are, of course, you all know as developers, there are incentives that are being provided both by the central government and the state government. Income tax concessions are there, stamp duty concessions are there. Almost all state governments now have affordable housing policies. I think Telangana one is on the anvil. I think we can actually learn from the other states' examples, and we can maybe make out a better one. So I think there is a great opportunity, and the opportunity is actually in the numbers. So build more, and probably the very big developers may not want to come in, but there will certainly be a segment of developers who would want to build the one-room units, sure, and provide them at a much reasonable price. So I am quite upbeat on
sure,
this
sir.
particular segment of the market.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. Thank you so much. Before we move on to the next question, Mr. Gautam.
So, thank you, Professor Rao, for your comments. So, we have amidst us a very august audience, including our Honorable Chairman of the Legislative Council, Shri Gutta Sukendra Reddy Garu, and Honorable Advisor to Government, Sri Sudarshan Reddy Garu. Thank you for joining us in this discussion, sir. We are proud to have you amidst here. Taking forward from what Professor Rao said, about the actual demand, I'd like to just pitch a couple of data points on that, because our state has taken a pretty comprehensive house-to-house survey of the housing demand, and with a good app called Indirama app, where we have gone house to house and captured the demand, including the present living conditions, including the what kind of a housing structure they are in, and also capturing their socio-economic factors. So we still have an unmet demand in urban areas, an unmet demand of 20.33 lakh in the LIG/EWS segment and 8.77 lakhs in the MIG segment. And yes, total of 28 lakhs, 8 lakhs in MIG and 20 lakhs in LIG/EWS. And in fact, these are not people who are completely dependent on government subsidy. Of course, EWS government will be, catering to, and this government is very, very committed as part of the Indirama Illu scheme. But, there is a lot of purchasing power, but the bracket of, the supply in that bracket is missing. That is what is reflecting in this demand. So I just want to place these facts before the panel.
Sure.
I request Preetham to take.
Sure, Mr. Gautam. Thank you so much for highlighting those statistics. So I'll quickly move on to the President-elect for CREDAI National, Mr. Ram Reddy. Sir, from the industry standpoint, you just heard the statistics shared by Mr. Gautam. He said there's a latent demand for about 28 lakh houses. So 8 lakh houses in the MIG segment and about 20 odd lakh houses in the LIG segment. How is the industry viewing this? How are you looking at this opportunity? How can you, as the leader in an industry body, motivate the private sector to participate in this opportunity, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Preetham. Sir, thank you so much for giving that figures. 28 lakhs, it's a surprise to us. I mean, the demand, what you're talking about it. Yes, CREDAI plays a role. I mean, across the state, we have 15 chapters. So every chapter have a big connection with the CREDAI Telangana state. So that housing demand today, you talk about especially middle class. So affordable housing, there is a definition of 45 lakh rupees is the cap, and 60 square meter in metros, and non-metro it is 90 square meters. This 45 lakhs cap was decided 8 years ago. So today in 45 lakhs you are not getting those affordable houses. The definition of affordable housing has to be redefined. So this we have been giving the representation from CREDAI National multiple times. Hopefully, I mean this time also we met the Honorable Finance Minister, then Housing Minister. Possibly this budget we are expecting that limit of affordable housing going to be increased. That is very much required, sir. I request the Honorable Minister from your side also has to push for this, sir. Otherwise, so the very basic affordability where we are getting the land prices have gone up, the construction costs gone up, everything has gone up. Inflation, you can see 8 years inflation. If you take every year, I mean 5 to 7% inflation is there. If you take that also, it comes to 75-80 lakh rupees. So this we have been continuously talking to the governments, but hopefully this time I think after talking to them we got some positive note, and we are definitely going to have this. So affordable housing definition, then concessions has to be given. Even in the cities like Hyderabad, if you want to build an affordable housing, so land prices are so high. So getting affordable is very challenging, sir. So I request the government has to look into this and provide some lands to the developers and a PPP model, so that developers will come forward and they will build so many affordable houses, then they will be having their own business models. So this will definitely encourage the developers, and it will become easy for you to also cater to so many ways, sir. So definitely thank you.
Good idea, na? Definitely will work out it that way also.
Thank you so much. Yesterday, Preetham was mentioning about the old, what do you call, all housing board houses are there. So,
Example, Kukatapalli.
Kukatpalli housing, there's a prime area today.
Ground
So,
plus 3
yes,
present.
yeah, if you make it a PPP model, definitely it's going to give a big boost to the, this affordable housing, sir. Thank you so much.
Great, great. Mr. Ram Reddy, you stolen a couple of questions that I had, but it's good that we got a response from the Honorable Minister as well. I'll quickly move on to Abhijit from the World Bank. Abhijit, the Honorable Minister spoke about the financing opportunities and available of funding for the housing sector. How does World Bank come in and support state governments, the private sector, and ultimately the end users and buyers? How are you able to participate in this value chain? And if you can talk about some successful partnerships that you have managed both in India and outside India.
Thank you, Peter. First of all, I'd like to thank the government of Telangana for inviting us and for organizing this panel discussion. So from the World Bank Group's perspective, which includes both the World Bank, the IFC and MIGA, which is our private sector financing arm and guarantee arm respectively, we generally look at engaging with our government counterparts in 4 areas when it comes to housing. One is land, one is permissions, third is infrastructure, and fourth is financing. So you asked me very specifically about financing. Maybe I'll elaborate that a bit more than the others. But just to give you an example, because I think the President-elect of TREDI, Mr. Ram Reddy, also mentioned this. So land is critical because it adds to the cost when the private sector needs to come in, right? And from land perspective, there are 2 things. So land costs near the core of the cities are high, like he was mentioning, and land costs away from the city in the suburbs. We heard about the ORR and the areas outside the ORR which would be developed are more affordable. So there it becomes important to ensure the connectivity to these locations, right? Brownfield redevelopment, yes, definitely looking at land parcels which are not giving the economic returns. You can look at reconstruction, you can look at PPPs like you mentioned. But for the affordable housing to be constructed for people who are going to work mostly in the peripheral areas, maybe linked to some industrial areas, etc. The second is permissions. So the second major cost comes usually in terms of both the planning permissions and the permissions for change in land use, right? And these are 2 areas which I think the government can come in. I know the government of Telangana has already done a lot in these 2 areas, but this is an area that we work with different state governments in India, specifically in Tamil Nadu, as well as other countries, in identifying the bottlenecks and finding the solutions. The third is in terms of the infrastructure. So the infrastructure is important. We have some housing projects in other countries where the component of infrastructure, so water supply, sewer, etc., connectivity through mass rapid transit systems, is more than the actual house construction component, right? Because once you're able to provide service land at certain locations, the private sector will automatically come in, pick it up, and deliver what is required in terms of the supply. And the fourth is, of course, in terms of financing. So in financing, we, World Bank as well as other multilateral institutions, will look at both the demand side as well as the supply side. So recently in our engagement in Tamil Nadu, we had a $440 million engagement. There the government was keen to move away from being a provider to becoming more of an enabler. They were already enablers, but more of an enabler. And one of the things that was done was setting up of this shelter fund, which allows long-term tenor financing at market rates, but quite comparable to, scheduled commercial banks, especially for developers who are interested to come into the affordable housing section, but probably don't have the credit profile to get attractive financing rates from financing institutions, commercial financing institutions. So this kind of a facility which was promoted by the government, was the equity of World Bank, ADB and the government of Tamil Nadu, has helped both rental housing as well as ownership housing. And since I mentioned rental housing, The Honorable Minister mentioned the 28 lakh, or rather Mr. Gautam, you mentioned the 28 lakh demand. So in terms of meeting the gap, I think it's important to look at rental housing as well as one of the options. The focus should not exclusively be on ownership housing. So let me just stop.
Yeah, so Abhijit, I had a specific question on rental housing. Maybe we'll come back to that topic in a few minutes. We also have another stalwart from the financing industry, the ex-CMD of HUDCO, sir. But, sir, allow me a couple of minutes, I'll come back to you. The next question I want to direct to both the developers from Hyderabad, Mr. Nandakishore and Ajitesh. How are you both seeing Telangana and Hyderabad's residential housing market supply and demand situation, and what factors will play a critical role for the private sector to operate in all budget categories? We are seeing more and more developers playing in the upper middle income category, etc. How do we make sure that everyone participates in all budget categories?
First of all, thank you for having us here. At the outset, I would like to say the land prices being out of board in Hyderabad are being overplayed in my view. Actually, if you see, barring a couple of pockets, the land prices are not as exorbitant as they are made out to be. If you look at Kokapet, if it is 150 crores there, every kilometer you move away from there, the price drops by almost 6 to 7 crores per acre. And by the time you reach Patancheru, it would be around 20-25 crores per acre. And if you look at the FSI cost, I think it would still be within a decent range of say 1,000 rupees to 1,500 rupees a square feet, which is I think pretty much a fair expectation, even if you compare with cities like Bangalore and other cities. But what is most important here is we have to understand what is affordability. Affordability, while the government has defined as a certain budget of 45 lakhs and all that, for me affordability is to be looked at from an individual household perspective. If a household is able to finance their EMI with 40% of its household income, then it is affordable to them. So that way you have to categorize the people into various brackets like EWS, LIG, MIG, HIG and all that. Now in the EWS category, I think come whatever, I think there have to be different models developed for that. And one of the biggest points what I would like to make here is that Hyderabad has got almost close to 2 million people in the slum areas, if Google is to be believed. Now 2 million people in the slum areas would roughly translate to around 4 to 5 lakh households. Now how do you do that? I think this is where we need to borrow the model of Mumbai. The model there has matured a lot, and I'm sure in most of this slum redevelopment, there will be many developers who would be more than happy to participate in this slum redevelopment, and I think we can adopt the Mumbai model here to do for that. And one of the prerequisites, of course, for this would be that government will have to ensure that there are other government lands which are made available so that developers can build transit camps where people can be temporarily located and then brought back once these developments are complete. And also there is another aspect that we also have to consider is that bulk of these home buyers, if we were to get into greenfield projects, if developers are to get into greenfield projects, bulk of these home buyers have a problem of credit availability. Housing finance companies will not be able to finance them. And I think that is where the government intervention becomes very important. They have to perhaps give some kind of a credit guarantee to cover the lender's risk. And I was talking to a developer in Mumbai almost 15 years ago who had done in Karjat, he had developed this affordable housing. One of the biggest problems he faced was that the people who bought homes were not able to pay the subsequent installments, and that puts a huge risk to the project as a whole. I think that is where the government can again intervene. Apart from that, what the government can also do is give the developers incentives. I would say more than the developers, I would say the home buyers incentives by way of stamp duty exemption, which is again a substantial cost. We don't have a separate. And of course, approvals, as everybody says, there has to be a separate body which will give approvals, whether it is an SRA development or whether it is a development of affordable housing. There has to be a separate body who has to do that, and it has to be a genuine single window system. I mean, it should be something which operates truly as a single window system. One of a easier solution would be where a government has huge land tracts outside on the periphery of the city.